NBA sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Toronto Mounties. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. They'll line up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Ball carrier. The numbers for Mixon last week: 13 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
3-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. They'll get that one to Taylor, complete. Throw it, opening, and there he goes. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 97 yards. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. And I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to back up.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Third, Burrow will throw. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starting in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They're on 36-yard line.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
2nd and 9 now. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
That's good. 4.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Going on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. 20! And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Taken in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they were able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
5 yards. First down, Cincinnati.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Tackle made back at his 48-yard line.
Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
First down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Humpties 14, Bengals 7.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the gun, it's Burrow, and he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, Bengals.
Out of the the shotgun. They run with Mixon. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Isaiah Simmons in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. The pressure gets to him again. Loss of 7 yards.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
1st and 10.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And the 2nd wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds them to just 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They give to Taylor out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he's finally out of bounds, but he's taken it all the way down to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down to that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. That's complete to his running back, Taylor. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
A 4-yard.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 4 yards out. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Gay is on for the point after. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
Mounties 28, Bengals 7. Matt Gay set.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. And incomplete on the deep ball. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. But it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
87.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
That was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Now Burrow on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. Now the Bengals going to use the 1st of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Isaiah Simmons racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. This will be caught just inside the 10.
Burrow's pass.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Boyd in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a Bengals score. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. And we will skip the highlight show this week, get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. He takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Toronto's offense ready to take over. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys. But be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
35-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
2nd and 1. Wide open receiver complete. The 20. And touchdown. A big play there. 65 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 24. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25 yards.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for the Bengals. 51 yards on the ground. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
At the 20-yard line.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. So he visits pay dirt for a 2nd time. Unfortunately, they're still down on the big board.
And I wonder what's going through his mind right now. Playing hard, making big plays. That wasn't a small run by any stretch of the imagination either. To find the end zone for the second time, yet his team still down. They need more of that from him and a little help from the defensive guys.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
They'll take over. First down and 10. At their own 22-yard line.
Toronto's offense ready to take over. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Number 28, Jonathan.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
At the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Now left side on the swing pass.
The pass.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big game downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to it.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown. Big play there. 72 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. It was 3rd and medium. They popped the short pass, looking to pick up the first, accomplish that mission, and then they accomplished a lot more on that mission all the way for the score.
Let me focus in on one word you used, pop, right? They popped the short pass, and then what happened after that? They popped the big run. Because now, once he caught it, didn't have anyone else in the vicinity to bring him down, and he takes off, and he kept going. Nice gutsy call, even better execution.
At their own 25-yard.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. On 2nd down, Burrow. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
First down, Cincinnati.
On 1st down, Mixon. He's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory.
The handoff to
A big play there for Cincinnati. 45 yards on the ground. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll give it to Mixon. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. On the delay, it's Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Here's Burrow setting up to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And his kick here is good. And that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
at their own 26-yard line.
Toronto's offense ready to take over. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
And he will tuck this one in for a touchdown. Campbell, his 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
He went all the way into the end zone. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Cincinnati set to take over once again. They've got to dig down deep. And they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On third down, Burrow. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They run for it with Mixon. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain.
Joe Mixon on the carry.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The type of game that he's having running the football, there was no doubt who they were giving the ball to.
So why didn't they just go ahead and go after him on defense, right?
Yeah,
if you know,
on him.
right, you know he's having that type of a game. Who else would you expect to get the football? I would have taken my chances and sold out defensively to stop him. And if anyone else picks it up, I tip my cap to him.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Burrow will throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points. But he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Now, defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the Hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Brings up 2nd and 1. Cincinnati.
This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And a big mistake on the return. He's out of bounds at his own 1-yard line.
All right, partner, get that disapproving look off of your face. He did get it out to the 1-yard line. Yeah, I know. Wasn't the best play in the world. He's hoping his offense can bail him out.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
2nd and 5 at the 20-yard line.
And a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is a big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it, because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius, as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Isaiah Simmons, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Burrow looking to pass. Dumps it off to Mixon. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he'll take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And the lead will be cut down to 14. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
He tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down.
Third down and 10 yards to go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A big play there. 42 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is, it's a bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them. But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now this will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 20.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want exit.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Burrow to throw on second down. Now Burrow loses the football. And it'll be a turnover. This is going the other way.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On second down, here's Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
That's complete to his running back, Taylor. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They just added their totals.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more.
Gay set to kick off.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget.
He's going to go. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Complete to Tyler.
Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Now it's Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Bengals,